Hello, I'm Kathy, and welcome. It's Unexplainable Time. I share these once in a while. I'm going to take my socks off. It's hot out here, actually. But anyway, we're in Texas. It's hot one minute, it's cold the next. But anyway, this one happened about 26, 27 years ago. And it's a little scary. It was to me, of course. And most of my unexplainables are not scary, they're just unexplainable. So anyway, this one I was my then husband. He's late now, and ex. He was late. He's a late ex-husband, but at the time, he traveled for his job all the time. He was hardly ever at home because he worked out of town, and so all during the week he came home on the weekends. Well, one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I woke up to a sound of, it sounded like a man groaning, but it was the kind of groan that was like someone was injured or hurt some way, in pain, you know. So I, I, I felt bad. I knew there was nobody in the bed, but I felt over there because it sounded like it was just right next to me in my bed, like right there. But nobody was there. So I get up and I think, well, gosh, I don't want somebody to be hurt. But believe me, we lived out in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere. There was not street lights. There were no houses around. It wasn't off grid. We had electricity. We had all the amenities, but it was just way off the road. And so we were totally alone. And my son was home and my youngest daughter. And he was a teenager, and so was she. Uh, so anyway, I took my flashlight and I looked all around the house, and I knew in my heart of hearts, you know how when you know something, I knew it came from right there in my bed, or at least that's what it sounded like. I knew it wasn't out there anywhere, but I took the flashlight because I thought I've got to look, you know. So I stepped outside. Of course, it's dark as it can be because no street lights, no nothing, no other homes for a long ways off. But anyway, I took my flashlight and I just kind of looked around the edge of the house, and cautiously, I didn't see nobody because I thought, well, if somebody's hurt, you know, maybe they wandered off the road and got hurt. But two, you know, it was that still, I knew it was right there in the bed with me. That's what it sounded like. So, you know, though, you just reach for straws. You're just trying to make sense of it. Well, anyway, I come back on in the house, and by the time I got back into my bedroom, I could hear my son stirring around in his bedroom. So I walked through the door and I said, I called his name. His name's Adam. I said, did you hear anything? And he said, yeah. Now, he wasn't up walking around. He was just sitting up in his bed. And I said, I didn't want to feed him, you know, what I thought it was or nothing because I didn't know. But I wanted to know what it sounded like to him, so I didn't tell him what I heard. I just said, did you hear a noise? And he said, yes, I did. And I said, well, what did it sound like to you? And I wanted to know if it sounded like it did to me. And he said, well, it sounded like a groan, like a man groaning in pain or something. And I said, well, where did it sound like it was coming from? And he said, right here at the foot of my bed. And so we were just scratching our head like, what is this, you know? But we didn't hear it no more, so I bade him goodbye. My daughter, she never stirred. She's in the next bedroom, and she didn't hear anything. So I went on back to bed. He went on back to sleep, and that was the end of it. But to this day, we both still talk about it. Sometimes we say, what in the world could that have been? So we come to the conclusion that it was an unexplainable. We don't know. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Okay? Bye-bye.